The Ministry of Education, Student Support Services Division, Guidance and Counseling Unit, Northeastern Education District presents.
Hi, boys and girls. We're here for another session, and today we'll be talking about study techniques, mastering your study skills. So, in this session today, we'll be covering many different topics. So, as we have always practiced, let's begin with the basics. We are going to play a game of Find the Hidden Word. You are going to see a picture and you're going to look for the hidden words in the picture. So this is our picture and I want you to, in 30 seconds or less, try and see if you could at least find 2 or 3 of the 6 words. Let's see if you can find. Okay, time is up. Let's see where the words are. We see that there is the word book, we have story, we have read, the read is here, we have words, we have page, and we see novel as well. Now, that activity just shows us that sometimes we really have to put our eye on things to see what may be hidden. In the same way as we put effort to look for those hidden words, we have to remember that there is no magic formula to get an A grade. Good study habits produce good grades, and that is a known fact. So, what is studying? Studying is devoting time and attention. It's basically applying the mind to gain knowledge. Studying is not just doing your homework, but it also involves reviewing the work that you have done in class. Study skills are the different ways and strategies that we can retain information and remember what was taught in the classroom. Now, why are study skills important, you may ask? Well, first things first, we are able to develop good grades and we can be successful as a student. But most importantly, we develop good habits that can help us throughout our entire lives. Your study habits, by improving them, is a great way to do better in your work. Now we are going to discuss some ways that we can use our study skills in wise ways. And the first thing that we need to remember that nothing will work unless you do. So you have a role to play in order to be a good student. So we see a list of study skills. We have things like concentration, following directions, time management, listening, goal setting, study environment, study timetable. We'll be talking about all of these in our upcoming sessions. So let's start exploring some of the goodies. The first goodie is that we must have the right attitude. And that means if you are in an online class or in physical classrooms, you should always be respectful and ready to learn. This is even for the WhatsApp chats as well. Remember that you have to think positive things, be kind to other people, manage what you do, stop complaining about all the problems, and change your can'ts into can'ts. And stay positive by saying positive things and even laugh and enjoy learning. Another study goodie is listening and following directions. And some tips for us to remember for listening, because sometimes we all have problems with listening. You need to sit quietly and look directly at the speaker. Ignore distractions. Anything that could be bothering you, it could be noise, it could be someone, ignore them. Also, read over before you act. You can ask questions to understand and you can focus. Don't get interrupted. care about the other person. When we speak, we want persons to hear us. So, in caring for others, we would listen to them when they speak and focus on what is said or what is being done. Another study goodie is doing homework. Oh, yummy! So, some tips for doing homework. When we are doing our homework, make sure you write down all the homework in the same book and copy it and complete it all the time. Also, write very neatly and answer all the questions. Now, don't rush down your homework, give yourself enough time and try and do your homework at the same time every day. Always check over and even have a parent check it over as well. Most importantly, hand it up on time and do your corrections. Our next study goodie is organization skills. How can you be more organized when it's time to study? Have everything right there. Pack everything away after you study so that you would know that everything is in the same place when you need it the next time. Copy or write your homework correctly and in the same place as we said before. And keep your study area neat and tidy. It must always be clean before and even after using it, especially if you're studying in a place where other people use. Now, a very important one is your study environment. And your study environment should be always following these tips. It should follow the LLVPN. And what does that stand for? L, lighting. L, it must be a legit location. V, ventilation. P, privacy. And N, no noise. Your studying environment should have good lighting, meaning that it should not be dark. Also, it should be a legit location so that there should be a desk and chair and enough space for your materials. There should be good ventilation, meaning that it shouldn't be too hot or too cold. The place should be private and there should be no interruptions when you are studying. And also, that area should have no distractions. No TV, no music. It should be a quiet place. Now we are now looking at our next study goodie, time management. And how do we manage our time? We have to create a schedule. You have to tune things out. Make sure you have a watch. Don't procrastinate. Procrastinate is a big word meaning that you're not using your time wisely and leaving things for a long time after to finish. And always remember that yes, you can do it. So, how to use your time wisely? Have a written timetable. Always start with your homework and take a short break in between. Review what was done in class, work for tests, things that are a bit difficult for you, and set time to review every subject. So you review for 30 to 45 minutes and then you have a break for 15 minutes. Your study timetable should always include days and times of the week, regular activities like if you're going to lessons, chores, extracurricular activities, worship times, your breaks, and your bedtime. Make sure that you write it neatly, put it up in your study area, and stick to it after you discuss it with your parents. So we have an example here of a study timetable, and if we look at Monday at 3:30, you may relax and watch TV. At 4:30, you start your homework. 5:30, you may go and do mathematics. You take a break for an hour, go back and study vocabulary. Then you may go and read a storybook, and then you have bedtime. And you can do this every day of the week and you can change up the activities. Even if you don't have homework, you should always be studying. So we are now going to our evaluation part of the exercise. Where having discussed some of the study skills goodies, we'll be seeing how we can really apply it to our personal lives. So, the first one that I want us to look at would be our study environment. And I want you to answer the question, the area I would be using to study is. Now, as you think about the area, does it meet lighting, legit location, ventilation, privacy, and no noise? If no, which one is missing? And then you also write what can be done to meet all these standards in your area. And then, most importantly, I want you to create your own study timetable. So I want you to fill in and submit to me your study timetable from Monday to Friday. Now, as we end off this session, we always say that if you have any questions or if something is bothering you, share it with me by letting your teacher know. You can also send a message or call the National Guidance Hotline at 868-314933, and then you can send an email to guidance officers ssst at emily.gov.tt. But you can also send me an email, as some persons have, and you would see that email address at the bottom of your screen. So all the best until our next session. Have a good afternoon, everyone, and bye-bye.